Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, it's really a great pleasure and honor indeed for me to be here today on a very, very special platform. And the platform is Yoga International Day. Ladies and gentlemen, you all should know today is 11th Yoga International Day. You may ask me, who is the father of yoga? The father of yoga is Maharishi Patanjali. 5,000 years ago, he was the one who coined the word yoga. You can ask me now, what is the definition of yoga? Yoga is defined as the word derived from yoke, a union of body, mind, soul, and environment. There is an environment within you, what we call as a microcosm, and there is an environment outside you, what we call as a macrocosm. When there is an optimum integration of all these components, we call as you are in perfect yoga. Why are we celebrating International Yoga Day? I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, with a great deal of confidence, it is our own Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. His persistent effort of motivating United Nations General Assembly, who declared this on 21st of January as the International Yoga Day. You can ask me, is it really important for all of us to do yoga? The answer is absolutely must. Everyone should do yoga because yoga is life and life is yoga. The definition of yoga is very well known to you because all the components of yoga should have a proper optimized integration if you want to have a perfect health, whether physical health, mental health, social health, spiritual health, even environmental well-being. So the answer is very, very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Yoga should be celebrated globally. It's not locally, not focally, not vocally, but globally. Global impact has to be created. There is a very nice expression in Vedas which says, Vasudev Kutumbakam, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi. The answer is very simple, that the theme of yoga is also based on the same. What is the theme in the year 2025? The year 2025 theme is Yoga for One Earth and Yoga for One Health. This is expression by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, who mentioned that time has come where should be awareness with the theme, and we should know the theme and experience the theme. I think it's a brilliant theme. That whole world is one, health is one, body is one, psyche is one, emotions are one, and consciousness is also one. It may be individual consciousness or a unified consciousness. The next thing very important we all should know is yoga does not mean asana. Rana is sitting before me. He was very particular about the asana. Ladies and gentlemen, you should not know that asana is yoga. No, you are mistaken. Yoga is all the 8 limbs of yoga. First limb is yama. Yama means do's and don'ts. Very important, ladies and gentlemen. We should know how much should eat, how much not to eat, how much should sleep, how much not to sleep, how much water should I take, how much water should I not take. No smoking, no drinking, adequate sleep, no fried food, no fast food. So they're all do's and don'ts. And most important is we are all there to optimize your life with the positive emotions. If you have negative emotions, we can never be healthy, ladies and gentlemen. So do's and don'ts are must for us to know and understand and practice. The perceptions that I perceive, the thoughts that I think, the water that I drink, the cigarette that I smoke, the alcohol that I take, the temper that I lose, the stresses that I face get metabolized by 60 trillion cells and 6 trillion chemical reactions and 60 neuropeptides and become you and me. So do's and don'ts is a must. What is the second limb? The second limb is niyama. Niyama means self-discipline. If there is no discipline in life, you cannot be healthy. And the discipline should be right in the daily routine, in the daytime, as well as when we sleep, then also there should be discipline. For example, if I sleep in the night, I must have a proper ambience where I sleep. The room should not be noisy. There should be a proper decor in the room. And there should not be any disturbance. There should be total calmness so that I get adequate sleep. Not like this, that every half an hour you're getting a telephone call. Then there is no sleep. There is a disturbed sleep. So you have no rest. Number 3, first I told you is yama, second is nima, third is asana. Asana is various postures. For example, sun salutation. Now sun salutation has 8 postures, different kind of postures, and we have to repeat it 40 times, 50 times. It's not easy, ladies and gentlemen. You need to practice sun salutation. If you do sun salutation every day, 20 or 30 in the morning and 20, 30 in the evening, or at least in the morning, since as the name indicates, sun salutation, salute the sun, you will remain healthy. That enhance the flexibility. Then there are various other asanas like Bhastrika. So they have to be individualized. Asana should not be done by all the people universally in the same way. You must take a doctor's opinion. A pregnant lady cannot have all the asanas. An elderly man in 80s cannot have all the asanas. He can't have sun salutation of 20 or 30. So we have to see which person has to do normal asanas, which person has to do less asanas, and what kind of asanas. So asanas has to be total individualized. We cannot make a general or universal formula for everyone. What is the fourth one? Pranayam. Pranayam is breathing exercise, exhaling and inhaling. And between the exhaling and inhaling, there should be some pause. That is known as pranayam. At least 50 times in a day and 40 to 50 times in the evening, pranayam is must. I do pranayam every day. I do yoga every day for last 40 years. And it keeps me fit. So pranayam is a must. Everybody should understand there should be a coherence in exhaling and coherence in inhaling with a pause. And you should be absolutely alert. And you should make sure that your muscle moves in synchrony. Your lips and nostrils also move in synchrony. And you should not have any thoughts. You should be restfully alert and thoughtless and enjoy the nature. What is the fifth one? And the fifth one is pratihara. Pratihara is a contemplation. And then what is the sixth one? Is dharana. Dharana means concentration. Everybody should have an idea of concentrating in what he or she is doing. And then comes dhyana. Dhyana is meditation. Ladies and gentlemen, meditation is a very, very important part and parcel of yoga. No meditation, no yoga. I'm a regular meditator almost for last 30 years. and I do chakra meditation. So there are various meditations. They are known as mantra meditation, primordial sound meditation, Raj Yoga meditation, Gregorian chanting. So many things are there in life. Our aim is to experience silence within you. 20 minutes morning, 20 minutes evening. Everybody should meditate to experience silence. And it is this field of silence which is a field of pure potentiality and infinite possibilities. And they teach you how to follow the laws of nature. And what are the laws of nature? The first law is law of pure potentiality, infinite possibilities. And the second law is law of giving. Third law is law of karma. And the fourth law is the law of least effort. The fifth law is law of intention and desire. And the sixth law is law of detachment. And the seventh law is law of dharma. If you do all this equally every day in accordance with the laws of nature, you are going to be healthy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I explained you in a very simple words all the 8 limbs of yoga. Yoga does not mean only asanas. Please do not misunderstand yoga. Follow all the 8 limbs, and I am sure in my heart, if you follow 8 limbs of yoga daily, at least you will live till the age of 90 without a problem. And I am sure if you really want to have a concept or paradigm shift from illness to wellness, this is the only way. So, path to yoga is path to enlightenment. Path of yoga is path towards calmness. Path of yoga is path toward progress and productivity. And ladies and gentlemen, we also know the expression of our Prime Minister, Viksit Bharat. So path of yoga is path to Viksit Bharat. And path to Viksit Bharat is path to Swasth Bharat. And path to Swasth Bharat is path to obesity-free Bharat. So what do we need, ladies and gentlemen? We all want to be healthy in unison. We all should be healthy equally, whether we live in India or any corner of the world. Yoga is same for everyone. Same for all the races. Same for all the sex, men or women, irrespective of gender, young or old. The only thing is the variables of yoga varies. Now the last question is, what are the benefits of yoga? Why should I do it? The benefits of yoga are to have a healthy heart. One, when I say healthy heart, do not fall victim to a heart attack at the age of 50 or 60 or as young at the age of 20. Nobody should get heart attack below the age of 80. After 80, it's God's will. Everybody should go one day. But healthy heart is our own choice. And it's possible if we do yoga every day. Second thing, those who practice yoga, they have less tendency for clotting. Number 3, their rhythm is normal. They don't fall victim to a sympathetic overdrive. So don't get palpitation so easily. Their coping capacity to stress is better. So healthy heart is purely an expression of a perfect yoga. So I personally believe attacking heart attack is a treatment part of it. But not to have a heart attack is by yoga. So therefore practice of yoga is necessary. Number 2, hypertension. If you have a hypertension, yoga helps in control of the blood pressure by harmonizing the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system as well as by RAS system and by SNS activation and NPS activation. It's reduced. So your blood pressure can be controlled to a greater extent. So blood pressure in young, in the middle age and in the old age, with comorbidity or without comorbidity, even in the pregnant woman or a menopausal woman. So blood pressure control, yoga is a must. Those who do yoga, they don't fall victim to hypertension to that extent. As the age advances, everybody has to be hypertensive. because it's law of nature. But if you do yoga, then you won't get complications and you will remain healthy. Third, cholesterol fitness. If you want to have a good cholesterol on the higher side and bad cholesterol on the lower side, good cholesterol like HDL and bad cholesterol like LDL, the main target is LDL, or various other cholesterol like apolipoprotein A, apolipoprotein B, triglycerides, and even remnant fat or even lipoprotein little a, they will be influenced by yoga. So yoga is a solution to have cholesterol fitness. So practice of yoga every day will make you cholesterol fit. Number fourth, very important, obesity control. Our Honorable Prime Minister quoted a statement from Lancet that 44 crore of Indians will fall victim to so-called metabolic syndrome or obesity in India in 2050. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of great concern. So we have to make sure none of us fall victim to obesity. When I say obesity, it does not mean we should have BMI. Obesity is by abdominal girth. If the abdominal girth is more than 90 centimeters in men and more than 80 centimeters in women, we fall victim to all kind of diseases, maybe heart attack or a high blood pressure or diabetes or dyslipidemia or even cancer. There is an insulin resistance and there is insulin hypersensitivity and increased tendency for inflammation. So inflammation is reduced to a greater extent by yoga. Then liver health, gallbladder health, intestinal health, kidney health, and overall musculoskeletal health. They are all taken care of by yoga. And yoga may also be responsible to change or normalize your biochemistry and normalize your tendency for inflammation. And those who do yoga, they don't fall victim to cancer so often. Cancer has its root in the stress. And it is stress which makes our genes very hostile, very aggressive, and their expressions are also aggressive. So the best way to understand yoga is optimize the balance between the body, mind, and thought process. Very important to understand that you and me have only two emotions. One is the emotion of love. From love originates compassion, altruism, empathy, sympathy, peace, harmony, and health. But from negative emotion of fear originates jealousy, hatredness, anger, cynical behavior, hostility, frustration, suppression, repression, depression, and disease. So yoga takes care of everything. So path to yoga is path to perfect health. So that's my message on the day of International Yoga Day. Be healthy, totally healthy. So practice of yoga will give you total health. Physically, mentally, socially, psychologically, emotionally, and environmentally. So yoga practice on daily basis is the need of the hour, and I must conclude by saying this, that those who do yoga, they enhance longevity, grow younger and live longer by practicing yoga every day. Thank you very much.